Thanks to the support as a channel member, Peter Walejko. Peter. It might not even be Peter. I'm sorry. I mean, did anyone think I had a chance to say this one right? Folks, just want to take a moment to thank this episode's sponsor, Super Club Soccer. Super Club Soccer is a turn-based, free-to-play football game available now on Steam. You can create your player and customize them to your liking, then take them and play with people from around the world. Different build options allow you to play in different styles, and each player in a team is individually controlled, meaning you can team up with your friends or other players. You can choose between a 3D or a 2D view with a tactical turn-based gameplay, and you can also create a club with your own custom badge and kits to take on other clubs in tournaments. There's 5-a-side or 11-a-side modes available within the game, and you've got competitive online games within the tournament mode. As mentioned, Super Club Soccer is available to download free of charge right now on Steam. The link is at the top of the description below. I urge you to go and check it out, not just because it's free and you've got nothing to lose and it's a football game, but also because supporting the sponsors on the channel really does help keep the channel going through these barren summer months when views are down and everybody's sad. So I really appreciate those of you who do click on the links when we get sponsors on the videos, because it really helps both them and me to carry on churning out the content for you all summer long. Go check them out. Link is at the top of the description below. And welcome to part 89 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the league. We're away against the Charlotte FC Academy. Our old rivals, the Charlotte FC Academy, and we're also at home against Orlando City B. Since you were last with me, form has been a little bit tricky to find. Obviously, we had that those couple of defeats in the last episode. In fact, no, I showed you Kansas and Sonoma, I think, didn't I? We then lost to Maryland Bobcats. We got ourselves knocked out of the US Open Cup by High Desert Elite, another team, another blast from the past, down in the National Premier, knocking us out in the second round. Not ideal at all. We lost to Los Angeles Academy in the league as well. I think at that point we'd lost 4 of our previous 6 games, but we do look like we turned it around. Back-to-back wins, back-to-back big wins over Jacksonville and Chicago Academy. I mean, this is what the table looks like now. We've just hit the halfway point of the season. We're 5th in the league. We are 6 points outside of the automatic promotion spots. DC United Academy are running away with this. They're 12 points ahead of us. Carolina, why is it always Carolina? But Carolina and Portland too, they're 6 points ahead of us. 6 points is a gap we can make up in 23 games. I am fairly confident of that. But the most reassuring thing looking at this table is because not only is it 3 automatic promotion spots, but it's also got the crazy generous playoffs as well. So we're 12 points clear of Jacksonville down in 10th place. We've just beat them 4-0. I think we should at the very least get to the playoffs this season, which of course doesn't mean promotion because we don't win playoffs, but we're definitely still in the promotion race. And if we can pick up a couple of wins here again today, we can start closing down the gap on that top 3 and reinserting ourselves back into that conversation. So this is the team we're going to be putting out there. I think it's no coincidence that as players have started to return to fitness and come back from their suspensions, that's when the team has started to perform again. You can see that we've got pretty much everyone who was missing now back in the team. The only one who's still not back is Garcia, and even he could play 45 minutes if he absolutely had to. But he doesn't have to today. We'll bring him back in hopefully for the second episode. But we're going with Walker in goal, a back four of Sieber, Captain Morgan, Vinicius and Vakulenko, Padilla and Wright in midfield, Aguilar and McJanet out wide, and then Takada and Johnson up front. We've sent a lot of these boys on holidays. Takada had a 2-week holiday. And you can see he's just returning from that today. In fact, he was missing for the last game, and he's not played in either of those 2 wins, I don't think. I'm sure he had a 2-week holiday that covered both of those games. So it's going to be interesting. This is the closest to full strength we've been in probably 8-10 matches. So we've talked before about having quite a small squad with not much in the way of backup players, and that's why we did struggle as soon as we started to lose a few players, and you saw that on the form. This is us pretty close to full strength again. if form comes back, then we know we have got a good first 11, maybe first 12 or 13. But we're never going to have the strength and depth because we're unlikely to ever have the money. This is like a non-league goal. This is like a blast from the past. It's been lumped up in the air by everybody, but eventually falls to Kevin Johnson just on the corner of the 6-yard box, and he turns it home. I mean, it's a difficult effort, really. It's waist high. It's at an awkward angle, but Johnson's just a very, very good striker. I think it will go down in history as a very important piece of business for us that we were able to bring him in the summer, even though it was touch and go for a little while. And he's shown again just there why it's so important when you're a team that might not be the best team in the division. It's so important to have arguably the best striker in the division because he'll just grab goals for you that he doesn't really have any right to score. And you saw it again just there. Padilla now heading clear from the Charlotte cross. Couldn't remember that. They're probably our biggest rivals, and I couldn't remember the name of them. There's too many that have C's and L's in. I was thinking, is this Charlotte? Is this Carolina? No, this is definitely Charlotte Academy. Oh, no, now it's definitely Charlotte Academy. We're familiar with their work. Goodness me. 1-1 then. It's a very good goal. I mean, ours was a piece of individual awesomeness from Johnson. This is arguably even more individually awesome from their striker. It's 1-1. Where are Charlotte in this league? They're down in 12th place, but they are on the attack now. A defeat here against this lot is problematic. Takada, though, picks the ball up from the clearance from the corner, and we've now got McJanet in. And look at the number of Bourne players on this left-hand side. If McJanet can find one of them, he does eventually make it to Aguilar. It's a little bit slow getting there, though, and Aguilar has the shot from range, but it's not as good as the one from the Charlotte player that we just saw. And Aguilar, in fact, is shattered. He's broken. He's another one who's on his way back from injury issues, and clearly 45 minutes is pretty much all he can manage today. Probably should have had Garcia on the bench because now would be a good opportunity to switch McJanet to the other wing. So you can play on both sides, and we could have put Garcia on for the second half. But clearly, I wasn't thinking that far in advance. So we're going to bring Angel on, similar to Hanau, how we've used him before. Angel can play on the left-hand side of midfield. Can't really play as a left winger, but we can do this asymmetric system that we've used quite a lot. I mean, it's not the most extravagant asymmetric system you've ever seen, but I mean, it's not symmetric. That makes it asymmetric, boys and girls, even if it is just a 4-4-2 with a slightly advanced player on the right-hand side. I'm still going to try and make it sound fancier than it is. Right, we've won the ball back here through Vakalenko. McJanet turns well and runs. He looks much bigger than the player he's trying to run past as well. McJanet crosses to Takada, and that's the kind of chance that Takada would normally score for us. It's not a nailed-on goal because obviously he didn't score it, but he's unmarked in the 6-yard box. But he's hit it straight at the goalkeeper, and he needs to do a little bit better there. Vakalenko with a big ball over the top for Johnson, and Johnson's been absolutely clattered there, and we have won a penalty. 10 minutes into this second half, it's going to be Takada stepping up for his second really good opportunity of the game. Can Takada score this time? Of course he can. I mean, he's hit that hard. That's been a well-struck penalty for his 17th goal of the season. I think he's just gone straight down the middle, but straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, and he's just not keeping that out. Yeah, straight down the middle, straight at the goalkeeper. In fact, the goalkeeper's gone the right way. He didn't have to go very far. It's a side step to the right, but it's hit so hard that it's gone in anyway. So good work from Takada, and now Angel winning the header, dropping back into that slightly deeper position on the left-hand side. We've got another 35 minutes to hold on to this lead here, and we do need the win. After all those defeats that we've had, we do need to win this game, and it's never ideal coming here to have to win. But Wright's done very well there to nick the ball off of the Charlotte midfielder, and I mean, Johnson's been absolutely smashed again there. Are we not calling that back for a free kick, ref? I mean, probably the corner is more useful. I think a yellow card is in order as well. Johnson was just absolutely sideswiped as Wright came charging through. And, I mean, they clearly know who they're targeting here. They're just going to try and kick Kevin Johnson out of the game. And it's not working because he's scored one and won a penalty. So, is that what you lot have resorted to now? You used to be good. Right now, again in midfield, plays out to Vakalenko. We've got two men over there. Vakalenko with the cross. I mean, Johnson's there, but it evades him. And now Vakalenko's going to have to do a little bit of defending, although they've gone inside of him. So it's not actually going to be him who needs to get the foot in. In fact, nobody does, because, I mean, that's the guy who hit the screamer in the first half, Macias, but that is not quite so impressive here in the second half. Right, Padilla has picked up an injury, so we can bring on... In fact, am I going to... Yeah, I will bring on Salazar. Part of me thinks bring on Cox to be the ball-winning midfielder in there and just get some... fight fire with fire in the midfield and get in there with some crunching tackles. But then I remember we're paying Salazar about £600 a week and we're not really using him. So he should probably, he is a natural deep lying playmaker. We should probably play him when the opportunity presents itself. McJanet is shattered now as well. I don't really want to bring Almiral on to play wide. So I think what I might do, I don't really want to take off right either. You know what? I might play him out Almiral wide. He's done it enough times. We'll stick him out there. He'll be fine. He just needs to have energy out there for the final 15 minutes of the game. He doesn't really necessarily have to create anything. And Vinicius is there. And Almiral's definitely not going to need to create anything now unless we really mess up, because we've gone 3-1 up. And Vinicius, I actually thought this was Captain Morgan, but clearly, I mean, they're both in there. I wouldn't like to have to call that, but between the two of them, I'm sure they've agreed that it was Vinicius who got the touch for his third goal of the season. And now here's a little look at Salazar. I mean, that's what you pay £600 a week for, that touch there. And there's another big, deep cross from Vakalenko. It's been a fruitful route of attack for us today, getting Vakalenko forward, but not too far forward, letting him hit those crosses from deep and just kind of whip them across. And they are dangerous. Right, we've got 10 minutes to go. It's Charlotte on the attack again as they saunter past a very handsome man in a pink suit stood there on the touchline, and they're knocking the ball around relatively comfortably. I'd like to think we've decided to let them have the ball here. Right, Angel with a breakaway on the left. We've not really seen him out wide since he's been here. He's always been a central midfield player. But there's another one of those deep crosses that we were talking about from the other side. And Johnson's positioning and anticipation for crosses like that is very, very good. You can hit crosses like that for him all day long and he will score goals. And he's shown it again there. Angel doing very well on the left. I don't think anyone's expecting him to hit the cross rather than try and beat the man, but he does. It's perfect. Johnson's found another little pocket of space in the area, and that's number 4 for us. And I really want to jump in a time machine at this point and go back and show this to past Kev from 8 or 9 seasons ago and say, look, I know Charlotte look like they're unbeatable footballing machines right now, but trust me, a time will come. A time will come when you're in Tier 4, when you're in the Football League and you'll go away to the Charlotte Academy. That's right, you'll both end up in League 2. But a time will come when you'll go away to these monsters who are so far ahead of you at the top of Tier 9 that you just go there and score 4 goals and it looks easy. And that time is now. Give me that time machine, somebody. Takada can't get his cross in. Vakalenko chooses not to, which is odd after how well he's done it today. But, I mean, we don't really need another goal. I was hoping another result would go our way, but looking at it, it looks like everybody above us has won their matches as well. We've moved back up to 4th place, but it is still a 6-point gap between us and I think it's Portland and Carolina who are lurking around in there. Certainly Carolina and a Portland side. There you go. So it is still a 6-point gap. So we just got to keep on winning. So you have to do it at the top of the table, boys and girls. That's Kev's football manager tip of the day. If you're trying to get promoted, just keep on winning. I promise you, keep on winning. You'll be fine. Let's try and put that into practice against Orlando City B now. Well, my good old director of football clearly thinks our defence needs strengthening. He's just brought this guy in on loan. Claudivanio, 21-year-old American defensive midfielder, centre-back, centre-mid, 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. He's in from Las Vegas on loan for the rest of the season. He's had 2 loan spells down in this league previously. But no sooner has he gone for him, he's made another offer for a loan. And I'm probably not going to stop this one either, because this guy is a 4-star. I mean, he's a centre-back looking at that, but it looks like he's been scouted as a right-back, which is interesting. We probably need to scout him some more, but he'd be the best right-back at the club, better than Vakalenko. I can't imagine I'm going to play him there. But at centre-back, he's better than Padilla, better than Claudivanio, who's just come in, so he would be comfortably the best centre-back at the club. He's at Memphis who are also in the championship, previously of Colorado Springs. He's had loans out in the National Premier before, but never played a Football League game. But we might well be having him come in as well. But for today, you'll see the debut of Claudivanio playing alongside Captain Morgan at the back, and Garcia also comes back in as planned after his injury layoff. He can do 75 minutes. McJanet is sat there ready to come on for him when the time comes. We'll say, yes, that's fine. We've got Angel back in as well. Probably should also mention Angel is back in central midfield. I'm getting very excited by these transfers more than anything. Right, here we go then. Let's try and make this happen. Would this be 4 wins in a row? 4 wins in a row would be lovely after the form that we've been in. Padilla with a strong tackle there in central midfield. Takada's come very deep, finds Angel, and he releases Aguilar on this left-hand side, who can't quite beat his man, decides to go for the cross, which takes a big deflection, almost caught the goalkeeper out. We end up with a corner, and it was looking for Claudivanio straight away there, but he doesn't find him, and it's back with Aguilar on the left-hand side. Cross comes in. Garcia has stayed in the middle, but can't find him, and it ends up back with Captain Morgan, who's just going to slow things down, calm everyone down, and then lump it forward, looking for Kevin Johnson, because that is the route to goal, as we all know. But it didn't work out, and now Orlando back in control of the ball, and weirdly the highlight is continuing, which is always a cause for alarm bells, because this might have been their highlight all along. And a header that goes just wide. Two relatively tame chances that didn't necessarily have to be highlights, I don't think. But Football Manager's doing Football Manager things as we always expect it to do. And now we have another highlight. It started with a goal kick for Orlando, and they have found a little bit of space here behind Vakalenko. I mean, in fact, that's Garcia. Vakalenko had gone very narrow. Garcia wasn't interested at all in doing any defending. He's made up for it there. But it was a weird piece of positioning from both of them there, because we left this massive gap. You can see Vakalenko again has gone really, really narrow, and they've got a guy who's just hugging this touchline over here, and that is a problem. Are they doing it on this side as well? I mean, look how much space this guy's got. I mean, if he's not getting the ball, it's not a problem, but we've seen him get the ball once. If it happens again, we might have to deal with it. He's come inside there, but then they've got this guy on the overlap again. How are they? They're playing very, very wide. They're only doing a 4-4-2. How are they constantly having 1 or 2 men over in the wide areas? We also have 2 men in those wide areas. They shouldn't be dominating us out wide the way they are, but they are. Right, free kick from deep. Angel heads clear to Takada. The solution might be what Takada's taken it on himself to do and come back in and join in with the midfield too, so we can control the central areas. Let them have the flanks, and we'll control the middle of the pitch. Thank you very much. Takada plays it back to Vakalenko. I don't know why he doesn't shoot there. There's not a pass on, but it's like he was afraid to shoot. So he just kind of rolls it into the 6-yard box, hoping someone emerges to apply a finish, and nobody's there. He could just drill that. Even if he's not confident taking the shot on, just hit it as hard as you can in the direction of the goal. It'll serve as a pass anyway if someone ends up in there. And that's poor from Takada. He's given the ball away, coming back into those deep areas again, which we want him to be doing, but not if he's going to give the ball away like that. And Orlando looked very, very comfortable, just knocking the ball around on the edge of our area, waiting for somebody to be in space. And that's a fantastic piece of defending. Who is that? Captain Morgan. All these new defenders on their way in, and Captain Morgan still doing his thing. Angel now in central midfield. He's got a taste for running after playing out wide in the last game. Takada's in. It falls to Garcia. And Emmanuel Garcia's back in the side and back in the goals. An 8th for the season for him. It might be one of the last goals you ever see him score for us, because his loan expires at the end of the season. His contract with his parent club also expires at the end of the season. We've tried to negotiate a contract with him. The most we can offer is £140 a week. He wants £800 a week. There's 13 clubs interested in him, and he's available for pre-contract negotiations. So I expect him to have a contract with someone else arranged long before the summer. We're not going to be able to leave it till July the way we did with Johnson and Aguilar and Takada previously. Garcia, I think, is probably going to have something sorted long before the end of the season. And add on to that as well, we have the potential problem of his parent club constantly moaning that I'm playing him right wing rather than right midfield. We could be dealt the double blow of him signing a contract elsewhere and being recalled from his loan. And I guess at that point we have to go shopping for a right winger with no money, because there is no money. That's why we can't offer him a contract. If there was money, we wouldn't be in this pickle, because we'd offer him the contract and he'd sign for us. But as usual, there's no money. Captain Morgan then plays it forward to Angel, who gives it back. And then Morgan looking for the ball over the top for Johnson. He's overhit it a little bit. And the Orlando goalkeeper comes out to collect very comfortably. Claudovano, not seen much of him today, but I guess that suggests the whole defence has played pretty well. If we're not really seeing much of them in commentary, because we don't really want to be seeing much of our defenders. Just keep the ball up the other end of the pitch, please and thank you. Not quite sure what I'm going to do if this other guy does come in. Claudovano could potentially play in that Padilla role in midfield, I imagine, because I don't really want to drop Morgan. I certainly don't want to drop Vakalenko, who we saw in that previous match is a massive threat from from crossing from that wide area. So I guess Padilla is the one who misses out. Then we've got a lot of midfielders that are playing decent money to, who aren't getting in the team. I guess it gives us more of the strength in depth that I was just moaning about us not having, but really I'd like that in the wide areas. I don't like the fact that McJanet is first reserve for all 4 positions in the attack, and we don't have much beyond him. So as soon as we start to get some injuries, we start to really struggle to field a front 4, and our entire system is built around having a front 4 and outscoring our opponents. Maybe my director of football was trying to convince me that's not the way forward and we should be learning to defend. Right, we are going to take off Johnson, who's not had a particularly great game today. I've just remembered I've got to take off Garcia as well, so let's put McJanet out wide. Almoral can come on up front, and we'll just do a triple substitution at 2-0 up with 20 minutes to go. Campos coming on as well at left back, and now Takada with the corner looking for Morgan, but he can't get a proper contact with it. It ends up back out with Takada, who tries again, and McJanet does connect properly but can't direct it in the correct side of the post, and it ends up going wide. And now we've got a free kick for Orlando, and they've grabbed a goal back with 15 minutes to go. And I can already sense the comment section starting to rumble. Kev, you were 2-0 up and fully in control, and you made a triple change. Talk us through your thought process there, Kev. I didn't really want to click the button a second time to do more substitutions. Just felt like I'll do them all now. It's out of the way then, innit? Don't have to worry about it anymore. Kev, do you think that's I'm interviewing myself now. Do you think that's an effective way to approach game management in a big game such as this one? I never really thought about it, to be honest. I was more focused on faking an interview that I was going to talk through during the really tense last 10 minutes of the game. What's going on the pitch is really quite secondary to what I'm looking to achieve here. Thank you for your time, Kev. That's an interesting approach to management. Hopefully you end up right after all. I usually do. Thank you very much. That was supposed to end with a goal. It didn't. Almoral fluffing his lines there after we had everything set up so perfectly. Still 7 minutes remaining. We are getting a lot of highlights at the end of this game, which is alarming to say the least. Orlando on the attack again. They are just cutting through our defence. Now I'm starting to see where we might squeeze this extra defender in. Maybe play him as a defender, because Morgan and Claudovano struggling a little bit towards the end of this game. But it looks like we are just about going to hold on. It's back-to-back wins in the episode. It's 4 wins on the bounce in reality. And hopefully we saw some fluffed lines from above us, because I think there was a team that were only 3 points ahead of us. I didn't notice which one. It was just little stolen glances at the league table. Nope. Must have been a late goal. Portland with an 88th minute penalty. Carolina, we're always in control. It's still a 6-point gap. We have to keep on winning. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.